There are many reasons to visit Ireland. You can walk the Giant's Causeway, kiss the Blarney Stone, sample some Irish whiskey, drink a Guinness in the storehouse, view some old stuff, then some more old stuff, or visit a theme park version of an Irish pub in an area of Dublin that's been compared to a ball pit for tourists.
Fill your heart with Ireland.
On second thought, don't kiss the Blarney Stone. The Temple Bar pub is now a go-to tourist attraction in Ireland's capital, and for many tourists it's become a bucket list item, even though this pub is really nothing special and drinks are ridiculously expensive. So how did this quaint Irish pub become an over-the-top, overhyped, overpriced tourist trap? From what I've read, its success could be down to some excellent branding, social media, search engine optimization, and simply being in the right place at the right time. The venue itself has a long history, with the license being issued all the way back in 1840, but when the license was issued, this pub wasn't called the Temple Bar Pub, so the history of the Temple Bar Pub is actually quite short. The pub's website does include a timeline and mentions the venue being purchased by William Flannery in 1961. This timeline barely acknowledges the pub ever changed its name, as according to images from the 60s, it was simply known as Flannery's, and even the exterior was fairly plain compared to today. This all changed in 1992 when the venue was purchased by the Cleary family. They added the bright red Georgian windows that has become a trademark of the venue. This is a pub that's famous for being famous, and what everyone knows this pub for today is largely based on social media. After changing the name of the venue from Flannery's to the Temple Bar Pub, this turned out to be a smart move in the age of search engine optimization. With the rise of social media in the 2010s, Google searches for the pub steadily increased. Nowadays, this is easily the most photographed pub in Dublin, and after the pandemic, searches for the pub spiked even more. Just to make things more confusing, the pub also goes by the name Temple Bar, which is also the area the pub is in. So anybody searching for the Temple Bar area on Google may find themselves on the pub's website because they just don't know the difference. It's not an uncommon strategy to name a venue after an area, and this obviously happened way before Google even existed. The Temple Bar area as a search term is way more popular than the Temple Bar pub, helping to drive more people to their website and social media accounts. Social media in itself is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and TikTok has only made the problem worse. Someone takes a video of the Temple Bar pub, it's posted to social media and seen by more people. These people then get a video of said pub and make their own posts, which is seen by more people, and the cycle continues forever. The owners have really leaned into making this the most elaborate and photogenic pub in Dublin. It has the bright red exterior, which has steadily added plants and flowers above the facade that's also covered in adverts and posters, while Christmas lights, decorations, and multiple Christmas trees are added in the festive period to make the pub even more photogenic. The interior itself is also pretty decent, especially the room where you'll see live music. And of course, at Christmas the rooms are covered with decorations and plenty of Christmas lights. The owners also purchased the property next door to open their own shop selling merchandise, whiskies and cigars, which is reflected in the e-commerce website as well. There aren't many pubs that have their own magnets, but the Temple Bar pub is an exception. While Temple Bar is one of Dublin's most popular areas today, this wasn't always the case. The area fell into decline in the 1960s. Buildings were abandoned and in disrepair. In 1985, the CIE wanted to completely flatten the area to build a brand new bus terminal.
And even though a lot of them are in bad nick now, they could be really beautiful houses.
Irish Bob Dylan could not have been more right. It's fascinating seeing these old news reports from 1985, as many viewed the Temple Bar as a place that wasn't worth saving.
I mean, if they're going to proceed with this huge plan for this big bus terminus, I don't think the area has any prospect at all. It would mean the sterilising of that entire block there between Dame Street and the Quays.
And this section where the terminal could have been would have levelled the Temple Bar pub, as it's located right here. The locals already had a glimpse of the potential future of Temple Bar, as the building known as Central Plaza, completed in 1979, towers over the area. While architects will tell you it's innovative, it looks like a giant World War II bunker or an ugly multi-storey car park. Dubliners unsurprisingly protested the new terminal, and to combat these plans, the rents for the shops and venues in Temple Bar were lowered, which in turn attracted new businesses and artists to rent out the buildings. This went hand in hand with the local government investing in the area to regenerate it. In 1989, Dublin's Corporation Planning Committee imposed a preservation order on most of the historic buildings in the Temple Bar area, putting an end to the plans for the new bus terminal. So by the 1990s, Temple Bar was known as Dublin's go-to location for arts and music. It was in the 90s when the venue was purchased and the name was changed to the Temple Bar pub, seemingly to capitalise on the area's newfound popularity and regeneration. and like many pubs in the area, they became known for their live performances and music. Trying to find pictures of this venue before the 2000s is so difficult because it was such an unremarkable pub. I can only find 2 images from what it looked like before the last name change, and pictures from the 90s are a struggle to find, as it wasn't until the 2000s and 2010s when the Temple Bar pub gained popularity. The Temple Bar pub will still make plenty of lists recommending it to travellers and tourists, but not because it's one of the best pubs in Dublin, but it's something to tick off your bucket list. The over-the-top exterior and Christmas lights make the pub feel kind of tacky. It's become a caricature of what an Irish pub is. I recently spoke to an Irishman who said he was from the arse of Ireland, and he described the Temple Bar pub as what Americans think Irish pubs are like, which is a pretty spot-on description, as it does feel like the kind of venue you'd expect to find on the Strip in Las Vegas or on Main Street in Disneyland. It's also priced like a Disney theme park. If you fancy a Guinness in the Temple Bar pub, you're expected to pay over €10. Because of this, you won't find any Dubliners in this pub. The Temple Bar pub isn't the only venue in Dublin to lean into this. Just down the road there's the pub called Oliver St John Gogarty. Named after an Irish poet, this pub is covered in massive flags and painted murals, and a Guinness will also set you back another €10. These aren't the only pubs in Temple Bar with overpriced Guinness, as the whole area is a tourist trap, indicated by the fact that there's a Hard Rock Cafe, as well as the Hard Rock Cafe knockoff just over the road. There's also the Brazen Head, just to the west of the Temple Bar area. This is billed as the oldest pub in all of Ireland. The outside of the pub looks fairly normal, until you see it from the street, because now it looks like a medieval castle. This wasn't always the case, as the pub was once at the end of an alley between 2 buildings, but nowadays it's lent into being the country's oldest pub, with the name painted on a scroll mural on the wall, and there's a suit of armour at the entrance.